I know that right now things must look pretty rough up there.
Right now, things must look pretty
Do
rough.
what I tell you. When I tell you to do it,
There's no reason why you shouldn't have complete confidence in your chances to come out of this thing alive in one piece.
And in one piece.
Riker, what kind of weather are you in up?
Like, what kind of weather you got?
Rain
And a little ice.
and a little ice.
How's it handling?
Sluggish. Like a wet sponge.
Like a wet sponge.
Can I get you something?
Dog.
Some mofo butter lay him into the bone, Jack.
Man, to bone, Jack.
Like me.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Cuddy said can't hang.
Oh, stewardess,
The city
I speak Jive.
Oh, good.
He said that he's in great pain and he wants to know if you can help him.
All right, would you tell him to just relax and I'll be back as soon as I can with some medicine?
Just hang loose, blood.
hang loose,
Catch up
blood.
on the rebound on the med side.
What it is, Big Mama? My mama raised no dummies. I duck a rap.
Cut me some slack, Jack.
Say Cuddy can't hang. They say be doing everything.
Chump don't want to help. Chump don't get the
Say
help.
can't hang. Say 7 Up.
Jive ass dude don't got no brains anyhow.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I was in the background. I was watching. Airplane. You guys remember Airplane?
Chief, this weather bulletin says you're over the wire.
I'd like to say something.
I know that right now things must look pretty rough up there.
Now, things must look pretty rough out
You do what I tell you. When I tell you to
What
do
I
it,
tell you?
There's
When I
no
tell you-
reason why you shouldn't have complete confidence in your chances to come out of this thing alive
We
in
might
one
be about
piece.
to like-
Riker, what kind of weather are you in up there?
Rain.
Yeah. Good morning. Good
A little
morning.
ice.
And a little ice.
How's it handling?
It's Friday. Freedom Friday. All day today. Good morning. Good morning. You do what I tell you, you might come out of this alive. No, don't do what I tell you. Don't do what I tell you. You do what you tells you. Don't do what I tell you. You do what I tell you, you get in trouble. You do what you tell you. Jive a little bit this morning. I don't understand all the jive talking out there. Jive. We can talk about what is jive and gibberish. Everybody's got their own perspective. Everyone's got their own language, communication method. We're probably not gonna come out of this alive, so I wouldn't worry about that. We're probably not gonna make it. You can stow the jive. Stow the jive. Stow the jive. Hey, what's I looking at today? Assange. I was looking at Assange today. They had that quiet trial yesterday. Was that yesterday? 2 days ago. So of course, I'm trying to tell everybody Assange is a hero. Like, Assange is a traitor! I'm like, you better pick what side you're on. You better pick what side you're on. You know, I gotta post something. Assange is no traitor. Remember, people, we do not play identity politics. We don't play identity tricks. Tricks. Doesn't matter who did it. Doesn't matter who said it. Never give up on humans. Humans always have the ability to reboot. You know, this whole mindset of playing checkers, not chess. The game is chess. You need to pick up your chess pieces and play like it's chess. Do not play this game like it's checkers. You're gonna get us all killed. Same mo, same mo. Good morning, y'all. Hang on, leave the comments there. And don't ask me how much coffee I drank. I have no idea how much coffee I do. Yeah, I do. I ain't gonna tell you. I got complaints yesterday. I said, you ain't drinking enough coffee. Were you tired? Sometimes I think y'all just come here for entertainment. We trying to save the world. Assange is a hero, okay? Assange is a hero. 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 I'm gonna keep saying, because it's not about you. It's not about your identity. It is about your activity. Assange did more. He did more for the anti-war movement than anybody I know. Anybody I know. Damn sure me. Last person's gonna stand in judgment of Assange is me. Okay? I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna let you do it neither. I love y'all to death, but I am not playing identity. You're doing good or you're doing bad. That's the bottom line. I do bad and I do good. I get the fact that, well, he's tied into the Rothschild money. Let me ask you a question. Are all the Rothschilds evil? Are all the Rockefellers evil? Are people good and evil? Or is this whole thing this real weird menagerie of people and circumstance and environment, and everybody actually thinks they're correct? Everybody thinks they're good. That's the funny thing I laugh about this. That's why I say it is chess, it is not checkers. Everybody thinks they're good. Everybody is justified, and they are. They completely are. That's why I'm not anti-Assange. I'm not pro-worship him and listen to what he says. Not anti-pro anything. I'm just like, listen, the game sucks. All right. same old Jive talking. Listen, mama, the game sucks. All right. Can we end the game? Babylon cannot stand. Babylon has to fall. We got to stop these Babylonian models of destroying every damn thing. All right. I don't know where I'm going today. I was just watching Airplane. I thought it was funny. It was Jive talking. That reminded me of like, y'all need to stow that Jive. Go ahead and stow the Jive. Stow the Jive. Stow the Jive. We're not playing identity. We're not going to get played into identities of anything. It all needs to go away. We need a whole new thing. Let's just move that direction if we can. I get bad things happen in the past. Good people do bad things and bad people do good things. Ain't no good and bad people, just a whole bunch of things. Focus on the thing. Which, by the way, people like to say, he's a pacifist. He is not a pacifist. You know how you think you're going to pacify me? They show up to my door with them adult vaccines. I'm going to tell you this. I am going to tell you this. I'm going to let you know something. All right? I don't know if the revolution is going to be televised, revised, prophetized, telepathized. I don't know any of that. I know this. I don't need y'all. I don't need y'all. They show up at my door. You better bring a cotillion. You better bring a platoon. All right, that's all I'm saying. I ain't taking none of your corporation's products. It has nothing to do with your vaccine. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Well, you don't like the vaccine because you're anti-vaccine. No, I don't care. I don't care about your vaccine. You ain't putting your thing in me. That's the bottom line. I don't care what you show up at my door at. You show up at my door with some Tylenol and some jujubes. You ain't putting that in me. It's gonna be a fight. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're not gonna. Boom, boom. Hi, we're here to administer your flu shot. Okay. All right, well, hang on. You can hold on 1 second. I need to go call 911 for you. Hang on. You know what? Because I love you. We cousins. I love everybody. But one of us going to need the emergency room. Because you ain't putting your thing in me. I agree. I'm total solidarity with every woman on the planet. Sovereignty. You ain't got no rights to put your thing in them. And you ain't got your no means no. All right, no means no. You show up my door, you better bring the entire police force, because we ain't all getting out alive. You better bring all of them. The safety agents, the Facebook. You better bring the Facebook safety agents and the Google safety agents, the safety officers. You better bring all of them. Better bring all of them. I'm not here to play with you. You think I'm a pacifist? I'm not a pacifist. I love everybody. That's why I'm gonna call 911 when y'all come to my door to give you my adult force vaccinations. Because you ain't putting that in me. Ain't gonna be a purpose. I'm not worried about no, but we gotta get together and stand together in the revolution. I don't need you. I love you, but I can stand on my own too. But that's when I think it might go down. It might go down. You show up my door. I'm not playing. I ain't playing. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm not playing. Love everybody. We can get out this peacefully, but if we don't take the peaceful route, that's when who's that? I saw Brother Mark coming. That's when Brother Mark and John gonna be right. It's all just talk and identity politics and the left and right and all the parlor tricks and the entertainment and people being fooled by people just been fooling people for thousands of years. It's all funny to me to a degree. Do you try to put your thing in me? No, baby. Same old. Jive talking gibberish. Jap. You're not gonna know what the hell I'm saying. But I'm gonna call 911 for you because you're gonna need them. I'm just not here to play. Let me turn off the music. It's Happy Friday. How y'all doing this Friday? Everybody doing good today. Everybody, mama doing good. How your grandmama doing? She doing good. They like, no, my mama dead. My grandmama dead too. That's okay. They doing great. People never die. You know what? I gotta go to my timeline real quick. I'm just trying to see if I get any good ones. I want to know about the deathbed confessions. That's what I like. I like deathbed confessions. What has me thinking about? Oh, well, because we were talking about yesterday, we were talking about Admiral Byrd and his deathbed confessions, the UFO guys, their deathbed confessions, the alien people and their deathbed confessions. I think when people get old, they just think more about what's valuable. And we need to listen to the elders more than what we ever have, especially now they're giving them all Alzheimer's and all this crazy mess to spraying out these airplanes and putting in the food. I trust people on their deathbeds. I do. Because you know what? There's something about mortality that makes you think about what really matters. And I think people need to wake up to the fact All these people in these black budget projects are dying. And before they die, when it starts tuning you in, I didn't live my whole life trying to make money working. Like, you know, they finally think, damn, they've been saying my whole life, I can't take it with me. Now I finally realized I can't take none of this with me. And they tell you something that's true. The aliens are real. There's many races of them. They got airplanes and flying around and UFOs and this and that and that boot. But a lot of deathbed confessions are important. But there's also people who never got a chance to give a deathbed confession. There's also that. There are people who they killed too quickly. So we were all talking about this this morning, the Assange thing, and the fact that they're no longer going to delay his expediting trial. And I still think he's a hero. Do I worship him? No. But he's a hero. He did heroic acts. He did more heroic acts than I have, right? And people say, well, he took Rothschild money. Let me ask you a question. Anybody here does not have Rothschild money in their bank account? Does anybody who does not take Rothschild money? Anybody? I just want to know. I need to know who you are, where you work, and how can I get a bank account there? That's what I want to know. Everybody takes Rothschild money. The only difference is if Assange did it, he was just better at doing it than I am, okay? He got a little more than me. Don't be jealous of him because he got a little more money. I have no idea if Assange was CIA. I have no idea if he took Rothschild money. I don't care. The man started an anti-war movement, right? And I'm always pledging allegiance to humanity. That's my thing now. I'm pledging allegiance to humanity. I don't pledge allegiance to none of y'all, none of your ministers, your pastors, your leaders, any of that. You know, so it doesn't really matter. We all take the money. The question is, what are we doing with it? What are we doing with it? We're marking each other safe. I love to say, I gotta post something. Oh, I love the safe stuff. You know how people, they mark safe in the tornadoes and they mark safe in the water rising, and they mark safe in the rain. They mark safe in the sun and the heat, not rain. I'm like, this is like mark privilege. I've never been marked anything. I never marked myself anything. I've never done that. I don't think I'm gonna do that. One, it's not your business. And number two, that's mark privilege. That's mark supremacy. That's mark supremacy. Because people are marking themselves safe, and their ability to mark themselves safe comes from the fact that the people who are marked aren't markable, right? It's not marketed that we're dropping bombs on their nation and stealing their resources to create all of this so people can mark themselves safe. I think if bad things are happening in my area, they're really not that bad. I don't have no drones overhead, not yet. Well, not with bombs anyway. If they do, they didn't tell me about it. I don't believe in that. I think that, to me, again, that's like healthcare's and walls, right? If you're paying with them by other people who aren't safe and they can't even mark themselves safe, they don't even have an internet, they don't even have a laptop because we stole all the resources and blew up the country, I'm not interested in that. To me, that's jive talk. That's jive talk. It's jive. I'm not interested in that. It's Friday. I'm thinking about we need to free everybody. I'm gonna read some comments. We'll see where this goes. We'll see where it goes. Good rising. Y'all so polite. I love how everybody's so polite. Everybody, good morning, good rising. Hey, how y'all doing? We good. Everybody's safe. There's nothing safe about where we're going. We're still playing checkers while they're playing chess. We're still trying to figure out that the game is chess, and everybody got all their little checkerboard, their pieces, their birth pieces. Let me see. Don't listen to the Jive. Lori, you can't listen to the Jive. You just got it right. You gotta laugh at it. You just laugh at it. But don't laugh at them, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at people. I'm laughing at Jive talk. That's what I'm laughing about it. I'm just sticking it in my pocket, just like, all right. I'm gonna stick that Jive in my pocket. I'm gonna focus on important things, right? Deathbed confessions are important things. I don't think JFK told us everything he wanted to say, but he knew he was gonna die. Martin Luther King, same thing. Bob Marley, the same thing. Peter Tosh, the same thing. You know, Assange, I don't think he's going to make it because I listened to John Pilsner this morning. They were saying that he can't even talk. He was in the trial and he opened his mouth and nothing came out. He's having real problems. He probably ain't going to make it. He's probably not going to have that deathbed confession. But it's weird. It's just we live in a weird time because you got so many people who've turned against him. And I guess I don't get that. I really don't get that. people are just people, right? You can be in one place in your life and be a total fool and a bastard. And 3 years later, you can be somebody new. Think about Paul and Saul, right? Saul was killing Christians and grabbing them, throwing them to the tigers and the dog in the Colosseums, tax collector. One day he changed himself to Paul and he began to attack the church. Because the church is just, wow, I don't know why churches can't, something about the church. Something about when y'all build these temples, bad things happen. And then Paul did that, and then the church messed up again after Paul and told him get right, and Jesus came. Jesus came to start Christianity. No, he didn't. He came because he destroyed the church. And it's after he was gone, they formed a whole new church, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Speaking of that, did you know, who was I listening to? Listening to somebody lecture this morning. It was a talk. He was talking about how Moses actually was a moon worshiper. Did y'all know that? Moses was a moon worshiper, and he worshipped the volcano, a god in the volcano. And guess what the god in the volcano's name was? Yahweh. Sound familiar to anybody? Yahweh. All the scriptures are jacked up. I'm telling you, they're all corrupted. They've all been modified. God is within. Focus on that. Do not get lost in the stray. Because it kind of makes some sense about the whole volcano thing in the burning bush now. Because Moses went up on the mountain on high and he saw the burning bush and it was a volcano. It was the Yahweh volcano. So he talked to the Yahweh God. A lot of gods in history. And these scriptures have been changed and flipped and discombobulated and thrown around. God is within you. If it's not based in sustainability and love, then it's not whatever this thing we call God. That's the bottom line. God, whatever that thing is, it loves sustainability. It does not love your Christian, Muslim, Jew, rurality entities. Okay? Religion doesn't exist. That's a way for man to control other people, to pretend it's God. That's all it is. So I found that to be really interesting. Yes, identity is always a trap. Christine, it is, oh my goodness. It is such a trap. It is such a trap everywhere. Because, but even people who get it with like identity politics, they fall into the identity trap and everything other ticks, right? Ignore the identity, ignore the source. If it's true, it's true. If it's false, give everybody a chance. Obama might actually come back. And that ain't gonna happen. He might come back to humanity. He might, I don't know. Who knows, right? The whole thing with Trump, because this is why we're here, right? Because everything they do is either all evil or good, and that's the game of a child, right? That's a childish perspective, right? People are just people, and they all think they're right, and they all think they're doing what they should be doing. Like the CIA, I laugh about it all the time. We got to stop the CIA. And I'm like, well, how about we put them in a box where they don't do any damage? Are the CIA evil? You got the guy on the deathbed. He was CIA and said he killed Bob Marley. Now, when he killed Bob Marley, yeah, that's a bad thing. But then before he died, he realized the value of Bob Marley, realized he probably was played his whole life, and he did a great heroic act in the end of his life, even though he was the man that killed Bob Marley. And he said, I killed Bob Marley, and I killed a bunch of other people too. You probably shouldn't have a CIA. To me, he's a hero. He's a hero. I don't judge people. I don't live in the past. I'm not a past liver. I live right now. Right freaking now. What are you doing right now? Right? I don't care about what you did in your past. Past is the past. Gone. Well, you killed a lot of people. They're dead and gone. They don't care. Do you think Bob Marley cares about what we're up to now? Bob don't care. He doing his thing. Whatever dimension, whatever he's up to. But he left us a message. Like the CIA guy who killed him left us a message. Are you going with the message? Or are you living in the past? People live in the past, you will never control your future. You're being played. So absolutely, identity is always a trap. Always a trap. Ignore the source, go with the truth. And Assange is a hero. Yes, to me, Assange is a hero because he did heroic things. Certainly more than I've done. People think he's a hero. I know the debaters are here, they're just not saying anything. Get together and debate some jive. Let me see, he didn't expose 9/11 because WikiLeaks until 2006. Right, Lori, isn't that the criticism? I try to read some of the criticism. And I think that is one of the big criticisms, that he didn't talk about 9/11 or something. And the way I see it, I've said it a lot of times before, you can talk peace, you can talk love, you can talk allegiance to humanity, you can talk all that you want. But if you get too good at it, you get murdered. This system, it allows a certain level of dissent, You just don't get too good at it. It allows a certain amount. This matrix thing, whatever we're in, it allows a little bit of that. But if Assange nailed it everywhere where you wanted him to nail it, he'd be nailed. He'd be dead. He would not be marking himself safe. He would be in prison, and Assange did not commit suicide, and neither did Epstein. And Assange will not be committing suicide, neither did Epstein. I just don't see any difference, you know what I'm saying, Lori, in terms of what Assange did and what we do. On Facebook, I don't agree with anybody all the time. And so because if Assange doesn't do all the things that my brain thinks he should do, that doesn't mean he's good or bad or indifferent. It just means we don't agree. Everybody on Facebook's the same way. We just have a way of judging people if they're more successful at doing it than what we do. And we got to stop doing that. It's a weird place we live in. It's a weird time that we live in. WikiLeaks was not started until 2006, rather. Okay, all right. I see what you're saying there, Lori. Okay. Road deeds stand for themselves. They do. Oh, I love that. I'm gonna have to quote that later. I like that. Yes. Lori's now today. What you drink? You drinking smoothie? What you over there? Heroic deeds stand for themselves. That's it. Thank you for saying what I can't say because I drink too much damn coffee. Heroic deeds stand for themselves. That's it. That's the end of it. They come from people. You know, I'm not really convinced that all this spirituality stuff, we really even understand. It jumps in and out of people. Good spirits, bad spirits, angels, demons, dimensional. I have no idea, K-Pax. I don't even try to, oh, that's a lie. I do try to understand it, but we don't know how that works. Cheer the good deed. Cheer the good deed. Always cheer the good deed. Ignore the source. Ignore the source. Everybody's got a degree of good in them, and everybody's got a degree of evil. I'm gonna tell you guys think about last night. People ask me, they say, you don't sleep? No. What is sleep? There's plenty of time to sleep when we're dead. That's coming. It's coming when they hit my door like, yeah, mister. Yeah, we got your vaccines. Oh, you do? Okay, well, hang on. Let me call 911 for you, because I'm looking out there. It looks like you only bought about 5 officers. You might want to have them go off a backup. I'm not, you ain't sticking nothing to me. And again, not vaccines. You have no right to put your thingies in me. It's never going to happen. It's never. Now, I'll be vaccinated in my grave, but you ain't putting that crap in me. Corporations make that crap, and I used to work for them corporations. Spirituality. This is why I was up. I was thinking about this. Is weird. It was a good post by the sister. Goodness gracious. So many posts I read. Has me thinking. Some of the smartest people I know on this damn Facebook thing. I forgot her name. Anyway, questioning religion, like looking through the scriptures and looking for the evidence of the big G God versus the little G gods, always trying to control everything. And I was thinking about the Abrahamic religions. You know how they all believe in, well, with the Christian and the Jew side, they believe in demons, right? They believe it. Hardcore. They know they exist. They believe it. They believe it. They believe it. And the Muslims, they believe in the jinns. Outside of the fact, U.S. military come back telling us that the jinns are real. That's interesting. I was listening to Lynn Moulton Howe last night. That's probably why my head is over there in the jinn land. What happens if human beings are manifestation engines, like what we conceive, we always achieve, what we manifest in our lives or spiritually, whatever, it actually ends up happening. And you take that and you give them a religion. You leave the demonic stuff in, the jinn stuff in, you keep them creating that stuff, that reality, but you take all the spirituality away. See, this is my problem. This is what I think about. I grew up in the church, but we had great music. We was church rocking. We had some great music, but no spirituality. It was dead. Every church I've been in, I'm sorry, you may not like that. I might have been to your church, but every church I've been has been dead. I have not, well, no, okay, no. Let me say this. Every church I've been in is spiritually dead, but there was one spiritual creature I met in the church. That scared the hell out of me. This is why Christ is my teacher. I think I told that story a long time ago. There was a creature in church. It was not a man. Well, it might have been a man, but it had a damn creature. Something was in it. It knew things that were in my head that it should not have known. And me and my ex-wife looked at each other at the time, was like, how did that thing know that? And that's that boy, we started singing a little extra louder that day, but now until I'm grown do I realize that, everything's not what we think it is. But what happens if the 3 Abrahamic religions all believe in this evil and devastation and destruction, these monstrous creatures, but they all have no power? What if they all worship and give all their energy and power to perhaps people or deities that are no longer here. They're still manifesting demons, they're manifesting ghosts, the jinns, or whatever, evil all over the world because they believe it, and we're manifestation engines. They're creating these realities, but they have no power because they just like chicken bake sales. And they like chicken bake sales and singing in church. They actually have no power. They give their power over. A good friend of mine, I think she's a witch, she was kind of explaining how you can give other people your power, right? You can give them your energy because, like, when something happens, what happens? You know, when something bad happens, you know what I catch myself doing? Oh, Lord. I don't know where that came from, actually. Said, oh, God help me, you know. All those old scriptures said that you are God. All those old scriptures said God is within you. All those old scriptures, Christ said that greater things you will do than he did. You can help yourself. What if you have a whole planet worth of people, the vast majority are from those 3 Abrahamic religions, and they all have no spirituality, not as a core model teaching, because they rip spirituality out, but they just create manifest evil all over the planet. They get in trouble, they don't try to help themselves. They call on something to help them, and they're supposed to be helping themselves. You might get to that. That's what I was thinking about last night. Looking around the planet, all the devastation and destruction, I feel like millions of people are manifesting evil, but nobody's doing anything about it. They're screaming, help me, Jesus! Help me, Bernie! Help me, Trump! Help me, Obama! Help me, God! Instead of just helping the damn self. I don't know. Saw an article yesterday from a nurse who was telling you why you should get the flu shot. It's not about you, it's to protect everyone else. And if you refuse to get one, you're selfish. Did she say that, Courtney? She said you're selfish. I'm probably the most selfish. She probably don't want to meet me. I'm the most selfish bastard in the world. I've never gotten a flu shot. I think that coughing on people helps them. I do. I don't wash my hands when I eat half the time. I like biology. I believe in the natural system. But Courtney, I don't think we have to worry about it because we're aren't they saying segregation's a good thing now that we're going to have our own drinking fountains? They're saying the unvaccinated people and the people without flu shots are going to have the unvaccinated fountains and the other. It's funny. I thought we agreed that that was a bad idea. I thought at a certain point in time, I thought so the people who have like natural immune systems don't hurt the people with synthetic ones. And it's just like, ooh, the world is such a weird place now. Sometimes I don't even want to get out of bed in the morning, but it's entertaining. It's entertaining. And she's a nurse, Courtney, so you stop it. She's got on a white, she's like Congress. She has on a white dress and like the medical hat, so she knows what she's talking about. All right, let me see. Absolution is sought by deathbeds. Yeah, something like that. Oh, Lori, and Lori, you're a hospice nurse, aren't you? There's something about the end of life. There's something about that end of life stuff when people start to focus on what's actually important. They realize that their life was a lie, their birth was a lie, the indoctrination was a lie. They lived their whole life as a lie in this video game for Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all this dumb stuff that's happening, fuggling and struggling over race, religion, and money and financial and industry and all of this crack careers and stuff that people put them in. And they realize they wasted their life. I think we should listen to our elders. I think we should listen to old people. Everybody should have centurions that they listen to. Everybody should have teachers. If you don't have a teacher, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Let me see. There ain't no hearses with luggage racks. Thank you, Sharon. No hearses with luggage racks. They don't have them. They're not going to make them. You can't take anything with. All you can do is leave vibration, right? All you can do is leave thought. All you can do is pull a Julian Assange and start an anti-war movement around the planet. That's all you can do. You can leave love. You cannot leave any of that crap because number one, the death tax gonna take it. The Rothschild and Rockefeller gonna take it from you. Say, I'm gonna start a business and leave it to my kids. 90% of all businesses fail after the kids get them. All right, they gonna take it from you. You don't get to leave nothing. You know, you're no different than Rothschilds and Rockefellers if you're lost in that world because that's why they do what you do. That's why they enslaved the United States and the whole Western world where everybody gets to mark themselves safe by blowing up other nations for Mark Zuckerberg. No, not Mark Zuckerberg. I'm just saying the whole Mark safe thing is nonsense to me. In that struggle, you know, you can't take any of that stuff with you. All you can leave is something decent. We're still trying to decrypt your last question. You know what, Bo? What's my question? Did I decrypt? I think I was asking, I'm curious as to deathbed confessions. Do you have any favorite ones? Or anybody at end of life, right? Who could have said something, but didn't get a chance to because they got some foot cancer. You go, Kelly, I disagree with you. Well, no, I don't. Kelly said Assange is a fraud. I agree with you. I agree. Assange he is a fraud. I absolutely agree. I do. You can quote me on that. Assange is a fraud, but they won't put the little subscript. I'll put the Epstein that was not suicide. He's a fraud, and so am I, and so are you. So is this brother right here. So is that person right there, and everybody on. Let me list all the frauds: Lori, Patricia, Beaufont, Mark, and Courtney. Everybody's commenting right now, all frauds. Why? Because we were born in CIA world. We're born in a world of Matrix, and everybody's lying to us, and we all think we're right. We all take all the data that we have and the experiences that we have, and we think we're right. And we're always wrong. We're always fraudulent. That literally is fraudulent, to have half the information, and we don't have half the information. Like most of us were born in America, we got like 2%. We're all frauds. You know, we only work well together. So everybody's a fraud. But I say this, Assange being the fraud that he has, he's less fraudulent than I am. He's less fraudulent. Chris Hedges, less fraudulent than I am. Even Noam Chomsky, less fraudulent than I am. Why? Because they've done more good than I have. They're leaving more good than what I've done. I gotta step up my game. See, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's easy that we can look at somebody else and say, you're wrong based on all the data I've collected. And I've never been to Yemen, right? You know, I've never been to the Congo. I've never, because Hedges was he was a war consultant. No, he was a wartime reporter. You know, John Pilger was one as well. I don't know what Noam Chomsky did. I know he does a lot of great things, but he does that gatekeeper stuff. Like John, and I say that too. The funny thing is like, this is a dumb thing about me doing this, because I just constantly find my own little indoctrinations and I'm filtering them out publicly. It's the funniest thing. But like, I'll call Noam Chomsky a gatekeeper. And so am I. I literally am a gatekeeper. I'm literally a gatekeeper, right? He gatekeeps on the Federal Reserve. Maybe he didn't study it. Maybe he gets money from him. I don't know. I didn't study all of it, and I get money from him too. The only difference is that, but we are gatekeepers in the limited information that we have, and we make decisions based on that limited information. The only way we get out of this, people, is together. Literally. And that's why I love it. Let me show you something. That's why I love this game. It's ingenious. It's ingenious, and it's a beautiful thing, because the only way we fix this planet is together. The only way we help the human race is together. We cannot do it apart. We literally require everybody, because there's too much information and none of us got it all. It's easy for us to stand in judgment of each other. Look at this right here. I like this. I made this little meme. I get one like on it. Anybody liked it? Nobody. Don't go over to like it now. Look at this, right? 0 likes. Look at that. I don't know if that's shadow banning or you just didn't like it. Did I spell something wrong? Hang on. Because I spell stuff wrong all the damn time. Hang on. Let me move my head out the way. You right here. Change my word a little bit. On over here. All right, let me see. Check my grammar. Because people, they don't like stuff if you spell stuff wrong. Is it right? Somebody said excellent. The answers are simple. Thus, they divided the masses to create profitable complexities. I think I spelled C-O-M. That's all. I spelled life right too. How come y'all like this? Don't be. They gonna go and like it right now so the show. Somebody's gonna like it right now. Y'all bastards. That's okay. I love y'all to death. But so here's my point. And I like this, because like, look at the depth of this picture. Images are so important, because you got the tannish checker piece, you got the black checker piece, you got a few of the dead checker pieces that are on this side, and then you got all the chess players, right? The board is the same. The board is the earth. It's all the same, but we're all divided up because it creates these complexities. And yet the answers are all simple. But the game is hard. Like Bob said, they make it hard so people die every single Kim right there. Look at that. Y'all see this? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I tell y'all fake. I love you, Kim, but you fake, girl. People starting to like it now. Don't like it now. It's too late. But they create these complexities and they divide everybody up, and it's these divide and conquer games. But the people over here, they got the chess pieces. Now, I'm not saying they're the geniuses, but they were the ones born into it. Those were the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, right? They got the ability to move all over the board, do all kind of things all over the earth that you can't do. No reason to hate them, because I'm gonna tell you this: if I was born one of them, shoot, I'd be all over the board too. You think if I was born and I'm a knight and queen and lord, I could fly all over the world, do that L-shaped thing? Who's that? The knight, the rook that does? You think I wouldn't do that? You think if I could buy a yacht, you think I wouldn't buy? If I was born on a yacht and I was told to grow up and buy 10 yachts, you think I wouldn't buy 10? I would buy 10 yachts and I'd be like, you silly monkeys, y'all keep voting. Y'all don't want to change nothing. I'm just going to live my life. I don't blame them. I don't believe in eat the rich. I think it's the game is the problem. Principalities, right? I fight the principalities. I do not fight the powerful. It's a waste of time. You know, but this is the game and the answers are simple. And what I mean by simple is, and this is one of the things that religions got right at their core, they get completely wrong after becoming a religion. Them God things told you to love everybody, and then you formed a religion so they can tell you who to love just a little bit more than the other people. That's why I'm not real religious. I'm more spiritual than anything, but the core foundations are correct, is to love everybody. That's the simple rule. Simple rule. Love everybody, and that's it. Love everybody, and that's it. You ain't got nothing else to worry about. See, now look, everybody else is scared to like it. Look at that. I'm sorry to put you on blast, Kim. I was just playing. I play a lot. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna like it, because if I like it, he gonna say something about me. Listen, I say something about everybody. You know, comedy is flatter. How do they say that? How's that saying go? One of y'all smart people. Comedy jokes is something about flattery or something. People I don't like, I don't say nothing about. Like people I don't like, I'm just indifferent. I'm like a Democrat with Republicans, or a Republican with Democrats. What do they call it? I like it the way the other brother said it. He called them Democons and Republicrats or something like that, like Decepticons and whatever, Autobots. I'm mixing it all up. But people that don't like you, they don't even care. Like, you're just not there, right? Like, if you are, it's like the Federal Reserve. Like, it doesn't hate you. The Federal Reserve doesn't even know you exist, okay? The Federal Reserve just doesn't care. It doesn't care. It doesn't know you exist. It just has money to make, and it's gonna make that money. And if you gotta blow up a nation to do that, it will do that. If you gotta get two political parties dumb as a bag of bricks and play them against each other and tell them that the game is checkers, it's gonna do that. And it will play chess. Right, and this is where the thought came from. Right, approaching death has a way of clarifying what was truly valuable in your life, right? Listen to those on the elder side of life more. Right? Listen to them more, because the young people, we stupid, y'all. We stupid. We ain't figured it out. Older people, they've experienced more. They've gone more places. When old people talk, I shut up. That doesn't mean I agree. But they have more experiences. They have more data. Do you want to deal with the database that has more data or less? More. And towards the end of your life, you tend to have more. Oh, this is it right here for the religion people mad at me. Here, you can go click on this link right here. If you're not on my page, it's public. You don't have to, it's public. Everything I post is public. You don't have to be my friend. We ain't gotta be friends. You can go still to the page. This is it right here. Secret legacy of the moon. It goes back much further than we thought, right? Like, you're supposed to use, I'm putting somebody on blast. I don't want to do that, because I don't think Carrie's here. He doesn't exist anymore, Gerard. Who doesn't exist? Or God, oh, maybe she's saying God. I don't know, Carrie, tell me who doesn't exist. I know, I just said I'm gonna put you on blast. Watch that video, because the connections he made were interesting, right? We love to worship people, and we love simplicity. We love things that are simplistic. There's something really weird about our brain, that we want things to be simplified. And human beings are not simplified. Human beings are very complicated, right? Moses had belief systems, and somehow they ended up in these major belief systems. And we have to think about that, right? You got to look at the modern archaeology for what's being uncovered in these Sumerian tablets and the Assyrian tablets and the ancient scripts in Egypt, and all the links together show that there was a root religion that was lost, like there was a root language that was lost. And I know I'm repeating myself. A lot of y'all have heard me say that. What I'm trying to do is, when new people come in, I don't want them to get scared. Because sometimes when you talk, you sound like the Jive talk from Airplane. That's how you talk, because you start talking Federal Reserve and people start getting glassy eyed. You start talking Sumerian tablets, they have no idea you're talking about. You start talking about how you shouldn't be pretending you're a demon, eating the body of Christ, like ripping his flesh apart like a cannibal and drinking blood right from his veins, like cannibalistic stuff. People, if you told me that 20 years ago, I'd have prayed for you. I'd have got the holy water and I'd have been spraying it like, oh my God, it's a demon. We're supposed to do communion. What's wrong with this? God, Lord Jesus, help. You know, and I can't help myself. But it took me a while to just really, really think about it. Yo, we got to question everything. We got to question everything. Everything. On a rare occasion, question something that's not in your mirror. Question everything. And on rare occasion, if you just got some time, some downtime, you solved all your problems. You solved the ways you are a fraud. Then you go question other people. But uncovering truth, that's got to be the direction. And that's why I like Assange. That's why I love Assange. Because even if the information was controlled opposition, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Information in the public domain is where we have to get to. More equals better, period. Oh, well, Gerard, they release it in controlled ways to control us. It's disinformation. I like to laugh at stuff. I laugh. I was just like, okay, well, information is good. How does that information become dis? Assuming that Assange is CIA and everybody doesn't like, because we're supposed to get into these identity things. What made it dis? It's just information. Just information, right? You can get the information. What you do with it is up to you. It's just information. You put the dis in there. You put the dis in. They didn't put the dis in. They just released information. Assange, WikiLeaks released that information. War is happening. We're murdering innocent people. We shouldn't be doing this. All the releases he had, WikiLeaks had. What you do with the information is up to you. You made it to this. It was not like the whole alien thing. We might end up in aliens. I have no idea. But then let me close this off. The whole alien thing. How was that this? Well, I guess in a lot of ways. You know, governments releasing the fact that aliens and UFOs exist, that's good information. And if any information is true, is good information. Now, what you do with it is up to you. Now, if it's for you to take the information because you want to see some green aliens, you want the alien to have your baby, now that's the problem. You can kind of make it this, trying to prove to people something, that their religion is false or their gods are false or whatever. Now, you made it this. Me, I like information. I look at it, like I said, if there are flying ships in the atmosphere, I don't care if it's the Rothschilds or Rockefellers. I don't care if it's this Project Bluebeam and the government's trying to scare us into giving up more of our rights. I don't care if this multi-dimensional creatures, aliens or humans from the future. I think all of that is nice. I love conspiracies. I love theories. The governments and kings have always conspired against us, so those things are important to do. However, you can make it this, right? My number one goal is to be in allegiance with the human race. It's the only thing I have an allegiance to. All the rest of your systems are all fake and phony and frauds created by rapers, killers, murderers, and colonizing globalists, okay? I don't care anything about your nations. I care about my people. I'm allegiant to my people. And if people die from a lack of free energy, then whoever's flying them UFOs, whatever is flying them UFOs, it needs to be put on blast. The information was good, you gave it the diss. Assange said war is bad. He publicized why it is, publicized a video of soldiers laughing and shooting, innocent, unarmed people. What do we do with it? Right, like you can tell, like that video, y'all know what I'm talking. I don't think I can show it. I think if I show it, then they'll probably block the video. They like to delete videos. But it's the one where he's a helicopter pilot and he's shooting these people and he's laughing, right? You can take that and you can say, we need to prosecute the soldiers. I think it's stupid. I think that's dis, right? I think that you're taking information and you're using it for your own benefit. You're upset with that 19-year-old kid or 22, whatever it is, who's flying this aircraft who probably doesn't even have a frontal lobe. Even if he wasn't, They send them to boot camp. Why? Because they drill into them that this is the enemy, right? I don't blame any soldiers for anything. I blame the war criminals that create the wars that put them in there. Because once you are there, you're going to do whatever you have to survive, right? And if that psychopathy is building up, then you're going to respond that way. You know, you can take that information that, wow, war is bad. War is always bad. War is always a crime. Always a crime. There's no good war. There's no justification for war. War has never been justified. War is showing up to Gerard's door with some vaccines. That's war, all right? That's war. That's a violation. War is you thinking that you can go put your thingy in somebody without consent. That's war. War is never justified. Just because you got a whole gang of people and you call it a democracy, that does not make it rape. It's still rape. It's still war. It's a violation and violence. Period. All war is bad. And that's what WikiLeaks did. Who's that? I'm not talking to anybody. Nope. Kelly, I ain't referring to nobody. I'm literally talking to a screen. I'm talking to my head. I see my head and his two brothers, the Jive brothers, and I'm literally. I don't talk to people. I talk to mostly indoctrination. I think that's what it is. I think I kind of take my indoctrination and I try to get some of my intellect in there, and it kind of gnashes with everybody else's indoctrination. And that's why I don't ever take anything personal. People say everything that I laugh at myself more than anything else. Because it's not myself. All this is my indoctrination and my database. This is all stuff that I've acquired. I move myself over. I might be in first class. I move myself to the middle. All right, let me see what else we got. I'm gonna do the comments, then we'll look at the news. Oh, dang it! Look, it's getting late. Being a soldier is a choice. Amanda, being a soldier is a choice for some people, not for others. Because Amanda, if you were born, I don't want to talk to you directly. I'm addressing the indoctrination, right? Because I used to believe that too. I used to believe that soldiers because I was a kid and I was raised, and I thought everybody had what I had to a degree, right? Like I said, I grew up. I had parent privilege. I had tennis shoe privilege every year for school. I had nice clothes. I thought every kid had that opportunity. I didn't understand the concept of parents and jobs and income, and some kids can have and some can't. And one of my best friends was a poor white kid, which is why I don't play around with your white privilege, because I got black privilege. I've got Washington, D.C. area privilege. I got two-parent privilege. I got programmer privilege. I got American privilege. I got college. I even got mark privilege. I can mark myself safe all the damn time. I try to use my privileges to help people, not to complain at other people. If you were born, I love the trailer park and ghetto scenario. If you were born in a poor trailer park, you were born in a poor ghetto, and you had no upward mobility. None at all. It doesn't matter if your skin white, black, blue, purple, green, yellow, doesn't really matter. And you have options. My options are be a drug dealer and run from the law. Try to make this moon shine when Boss Hogg eats some chicken. Or try to sell these drugs, this cannabis, when the cops ain't on the corner. Or go in the military. Military service is not a choice. This is why I don't blame people, right? And a lot of people are smart about it. These kids ain't stupid. They look at it, they think, you know what, I want to put myself through college the same way hookers do. I need to put myself through school. I want to make a better life for myself. And then I was born in a world where the adults were so apathetic they couldn't give two damns that the only way I know how to do this is by selling my body or by dropping bodies with a gun. The military. I don't think so. I think there are some people who have options and they choose that and it's a bad option. But even those outside of the majority of the military being poor kids, even those are still indoctrinated. Like me, I was a candidate. Amanda, I would have went into the Air Force if I didn't realize I don't like your authority. If I realized I don't like people telling me what to do, I'd have been in the Air Force. I already got one congressman's signature. I was about to get a second to go in the Air Force Academy. Last minute, I processed, because I was in ROTC, Civil Air Patrol, and all of that, Boy Scouts, whatever, and I thought about it. I really don't like standing in lines. I thought about it. It's fun to go drill, but, it's fun to do the drill, put the uniform on, crisp in the bed and everything. We used to go down to the military bases, and we had encampments and stuff. It was a lot of fun on the weekend. There's a lot of fun, you know, in the summer. There's a lot, but most times, I want to be out with my friends. I want to be driving around my Volkswagen Bug, using my paint gun, playing. We used to play. Y'all remember that DC cab? We used to drive around. We used to play Night Marauder. My friends and I, we get in our cars. Don't ever do this, by the way. Don't, this is stupid. We could do it at my time because we didn't live in a police state. The Democrats and Republicans were thinking about making a police state when I was a kid and I was driving. We used to drive around, shoot each other with paint guns. Yeah. Bad idea. That led me up to the first time I got cops pulling guns on me. Long story. I ain't gonna go there. But I wasn't doing nothing at the time. My friends and I, we didn't have guns out at paintball guns, mind you. It's just when we went to the paint gun store, you know, we had our paint guns with us, and the officers, they didn't know the difference between a paint gun and a real gun, I guess, which is a scary thought within itself. But yeah, that was the first time I got to look down the barrel of a loaded gun. First time, not the first time I seen one. But no, we have to stop generalizing. Like this, and this is my point. I did this my whole life. The human brain, it works. It's easier when we generalize, right? It's easier when we have stereotypes. It's easier when we say soldier bad, soldier choice. But there's like so many soldiers, and there's so many dynamic solutions and decisions and what's going on at that time, what medications are on, if they're in depression, if they're poor. Like there's so many scenarios. The only thing I try to do, in my thoughts to Amanda, is that I try to put myself in everybody's shoes and realize that odds are, if I were in their shoes, I would do what they did. And when you can do that, it takes away a lot of judgment. It takes away a lot of judgment. I don't judge anybody. I don't judge any. The only people I'm gonna judge is if you show up to my door to give me a damn flu shot. Well, I ain't gonna judge you. I understand you got a job to do, but I'll be at peace at it. I'll be at peace with it. When the safety officers show up at my door like, he's being unsafe on Facebook. Like, what exactly do you think about it being safe in the Rothschild world? Send the safety officers. I haven't go call 911 for you because I appreciate you got a job to do. You wanted to save the world and thought you could do that through the police force, which I don't have any issue with the police. My problem is policing. My problem is systems and policies. My problem are the principalities of power and control over human beings and life. I would do what all my cousins did if I were in their shoes. Right? They're all justified. All experiences are valid because I'd probably make those decisions myself. And when we take ourselves out of this, where's that chessboard? When we take ourselves out of this, because this is part of what this post means, right? When we take ourselves out of the game, right? Because we're all being played. We're all frauds, we're all being played. When we take ourselves out of this game, then you can see clearly, I think. Then you don't judge anybody in the game. And this is like, and that was a core foundation of a lot of those scriptures, that you don't judge anybody. Then you start to understand the game is the problem. That's when you start to fight the power, not the powerful, right? Because everybody's perceived to have power. Everybody wants to be a little G God, but it's the system that creates the problems. It creates complexities by separating people apart because it's profitable to farm human beings and give them judgmental behaviors over each other. You see what I'm saying? That might seem a little Beaufort deepish. I don't know how I came to that. Lori saying to ignore fools. Yes, ignore fools, ignore jive talk. We don't have time for it. Same board for two different games. Right. Checkers, where all the pieces start out as equals. Chess, where all the pieces. Pieces are hierarchical. One Earth, two different games we can play. Right. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting, Susan. Right. I mean, we all could be equal. We all could be equal. We're all on the same board. We're all on the same earth. We all could be equal in terms of opportunity and life, right? Like we say, we feed everybody. We can house everybody. We can give everybody safety, freedom. If you want synthetic healthcare, we got that for you. Robots and automation are paying. If you want natural healthcare, we got that for you. Robots and automation are paying. We could free everybody and let everybody have equal opportunities and the world become a beautiful place. But nobody can be nobody can have chess pieces. When nobody has chess pieces, then good things happen. And some people are like, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about socialism. No, I'm not. I'm not talking about any ism. I'm not talking about taking all the resources of all the slaves and giving them to one king or lord, then that king or lord disseminating them out. That's still chess. We're talking checkers. The world has changed. You now have robots and automation. Everyone can have equal opportunity. We just don't love each other enough to give it to each other. We like to judge each other still. We still are lost in this game, fighting the other little poor pawn checkers on a board where some people got chess. You got that Federal Reserve, them Rothschilds and Rockefellers and Mellons and the people who actually run all of this. And they run it through political parties that have no real power. Democrats and Republicans. Yeah, and that's a good example. I love that, Andrew, because what's the difference between the Bloods, the Crips, and the Democrats and Republicans? What's the difference? What is the difference? Somebody tell me, what is the difference? You're gonna go vote for your Bloods or vote for... What's the difference? They all extort, okay? They all kill. The only difference is the Bloods, Crips, skinheads, and white nationalists and skinheads, they didn't have a choice. They were born poor. All right, and they were kids when they made those decisions. They were shown a world of no love, and they made a decision on the first group that came around and gave them some love. And to me, they made the correct, right decision. The right decision. Are you? That's why I say all the problems are in your mirror. Fix the world in your mirror. Don't fix the world anybody else's, because you don't know what's happening with them, right? And the other difference between all the gangs that everybody's scared of and the political parties is how many people they murder. Okay, that's the difference. And who pulls the trigger? At least these kids that are doing it, as bad as violence and murder is, they do it for survival, right? As bad as it is, 1, 2 a day, 3 maybe a day they might kill. These political parties that are working for these banks and corporations are murdering entire towns of people daily, dropping bombs on people daily. They got a choice. These people have jobs. They're not in survival mode. They have choices. They just don't understand and they don't know. And that's why right now everything needs to be a conversation. Right now everybody's indoctrinated to do stupid things. And I've been doing that stupid thing my entire life. And there's nothing I regret more than voting for a system that just changes the color of the paint. Y'all see that meme? I don't think I can find it. There was a meme that basically said voting was basically repainting the tank. You know, it's a tank running over, I think it's like humanity's head or whatever. And all you're doing is repainting the tank. That's all you're doing. You're red, painted blue, you know, whatever the political party you are in your country, changing the face, swapping out the butt that sits in the chair, but it requires the murder. It requires gang mentality on a national world scale. I don't believe in that system anymore. All you're voting for is consent. You're consenting to a tank existing and running over heads and shooting people, as opposed to what color it should be. Who should be driving it? All right, let me look at the news real quick. Get out of here. I'm sorry I missed a whole bunch of good comments today. I'm missing a whole bunch of them. It's Friday, so y'all should be happy. Who angry? Who got the angry face? Stop that. Stop that. If you're on the internet, you have no reason to be angry. But I like the angry faces. It's good. It means you said something that somebody's thinking about. That's a great thing. That's always a great thing. If you got internet mark privilege, if you've been marked safe in the world because you got internet and a cell phone and access, you don't have to mark safe. You everything's safe. Jasmine did it. You safe. You know you safe. She being funny. Everybody, I see Facebook in the news. Oh Lord, what happened? What happened? Let me move this over here. Why big tech can't solve housing crisis? Why can't they solve it? Is there a housing crisis? Let me ask you all that question. Is there, in a nation that has a dozen companies, and that was 2 years ago, I'm sure they got a lot more, a dozen companies that are 3D printing houses for $500 each, and they can 3D print a house in 24 hours. Do we have a housing crisis? There is no housing crisis. There literally is no crisis. It's called artificial scarcity. It's called keep away. Y'all ever play that game, keep away, with the little kid at school? You get the ball. I miss those red rubber balls. They were probably carcinogens and toxic, but you like the little kid come in, you big and tall, because you in the 4th grade, he in the 2nd grade. and his mama ain't around, and the teacher ain't in sight, and y'all just throw it over there, and the other kid runs, "Hey, what the ball?" And your friend throws it back to you. "No, you can't have the ball." You throw it back. Look, kid, getting back, you don't care. You just apathetic. You got the house prices up. You're doing well. You're gonna retire real well. You got a great retirement. You can't take pictures, but you got a great retirement. And the kid turn around, run over the crowd, smack him in the back of the head, throw the ball back. He can't get it. We play keep away with housing. We play keep away with human life. Okay, exactly, Andrew. What exactly is a safe world? There's no safe world when you play keep away with places to get in out of the rain and live and not die in the street. All right, there's no housing crisis in America. The bottom line is we keep things from people. We keep things from people because it keeps prices high. What else we got? What else is in the old? That's old. That's not new. We've been playing keep away long damn time. I don't think that's news. I can click on it if y'all want, but that's not what I'm. Ooh, brother, and this is what Brother Kelly. This is what I'm saying. Like Brother Kelly and Hemp House, we need to do another whole video on Hemp House. We did a video, was that a year ago, bro? Where we talked about Hemp House. You can 3D print hemp houses, right? You can do some amazing things. So there's no housing crisis. We play keep away with houses and food and things that human beings need to live because it makes them act like checker pieces on a chessboard. That's why. That's why. And if you just logged in, you probably have no idea what the hell I just said. You got to go back about 20 minutes. You get the rest of it. Let me see. Russian nuclear bombers arrive in South Africa. Of course. And they're supposed to. Why? Because they got to oppose the AFRICOM that the black president from America put in Africa because the world would only accept it if a black president restarted slavery and blew up Africa and put how many dozen or hundreds of bases all throughout Africa. We don't even know how many bases are there and put so many, but y'all would only accept it if somebody with black skin did it, which is why I think presidents are selected, not elected. And whoever elects them, that's the community they're gonna abuse the most. That's what I see. Tell me I'm wrong if you want. That's not new, that's old. Exclusive government official reveals why Assange was jailed. You think y'all wanna click on that? He might tell the truth. I haven't talked about Assange lately. Usually the thing that you fuss at me about is what I talk about.
In our nation's capital, hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. Tonight, a blockbuster interview, one that may explain definitively why Julian Assange was kicked out of the Ecuadorian embassy in London and turned over to British authorities.
Why?
Few people know more about the Assange case than the Ecuadorian official that you are about to hear from. Why? Well, because he essentially put the asylum deal together that allowed the founder of WikiLeaks to avoid prosecution for publishing, and this is important, factual records of U.S. and British military abuses in Iraq and Afghanistan. First, let's give you some background. So about 9 years ago, WikiLeaks published a video showing how U.S. helicopter gunships killed 2 journalists and 7 innocent civilians in Iraq. The U.S. military denied it until Assange showed the actual shooting. WikiLeaks also published some 9,000 classified documents detailing how detainees in Guantanamo were being treated or allegedly mistreated. Following that, the United States and the UK tried to go after Assange in a Swedish court. Meanwhile, several countries, including France, denied Assange any kind of asylum or protection until finally, in 2012, Ecuador announces that it will grant Assange political asylum, fearing that his rights as a journalist are being violated. And then we fast forward to April of this year, when Assange is physically removed from the Ecuadorian embassy and charged with conspiracy to hack a computer by the Metropolitan Police of London. In fact, here's the actual video. We have that. This is exclusive video. There he is. There's Assange. In this video, seen around the world, looking almost sickly.
Hang on. I gotta ask a question because I know the Assange haters will arrive. And I like to keep things simple. All right, so there's Assange right there, them dragging him out the embassy.
In fact, here's the actual video. We have that. This is
Let me show you this. Let me ask this question for the people who don't like Assange. When is it okay to put your hands on somebody? When is it okay to have armed men grab someone who peacefully never touched anybody else? The person who's never been, when is it okay to do that? So like throw out all the conspiracy theories and the data and all of that stuff. And you answered me this question. When is it okay to put your hands on somebody that's never hurt anybody? Right? This is a crime that's occurring right here. This is a crime against humanity. Ignore all the other BS that everybody's talking. It's never okay. And if you understand biology and science, you know that that is your cousin. Armed men with lethal weapons grabbed a person who never hurt anybody ever, was not being violent, and dragged him out. See, this is what I'm saying. I only see two sides, right? There are people who will stand up for each other because we got kings and lords and forces and systems and things that are violating us all. And people who are fighting for the kings and lords and systems that are violating us all. It's never okay. It's never okay. And so, you don't have to agree with what Assange said. You don't have to agree with what he did. You don't have to, you can believe he's CIA, whatever. It's never okay to do that. He should not be in prison. He should not be being extradited. He should be free. Bottom line, call him whatever you want. It's never okay to do that. Never.
Exclusive video. There he is. There's Assange. In this video, seen around the world, looking almost sickly as he was forcibly removed while screaming out for justice
We should be united on
building
that.
there in downtown London. The president of Ecuador admits that he reversed Assange's asylum deal, but he says he did so with a commitment from the British that they would never, ever extradite him to a country that has the death penalty, i.e., the United States.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, now you've got the background, right? Now, the interview you will want to see right here on the News with Rick Sanchez tonight, where we do this because we truly believe it's time to do news again.
Tonight. Is that clickbait? You better not show it tonight. You better show it now. Didn't he say he was going to show it? Now he said tonight. What's this tonight? You show it now.
That you look forward to. We know you do. The questions you'll be asking tomorrow. Was Julian Assange sold out by the Ecuadorian president?
Of course.
And why? Why is Africa, the once forgotten continent, suddenly getting the attention of Vladimir Putin?
Because Americans are murdering and colonizing more. Their globalism's going a little faster into Africa than Russia's is. So Russia and China are getting involved. Russia's doing it the military way, trying to help the same way America does. It's all colonization. You can take all the avatars and labels and swip and swap them and all you want. They're all still pawns in a game of chess. China's doing it through business. They're knocking on the door and they're colonizing through loans and different things. But that's why. Now, but of course, you're American, so you got to take a certain role. You got to take a certain position against Russia.
And should a mom be allowed to chemically castrate her 7-year-old son to change his gender without his father's consent?
Ooh, that's a question. Should a mom be allowed to chemically castrate her 7-year-old son without her father's consent? Oh, that's a hard one. Well, I'm not thinking about the whole mom-father thing. I don't care about them. I really don't care. Because you had a child doesn't mean you own it. All right? You bad as the government. I didn't take you out of me. I didn't put the sperm in you. I own you. To me, that's stupid. I'm thinking about the child. When I think of things, I don't think about it from a father's consent. I don't really care about that. I don't care about the mother's consent. I don't. I'm sorry. I only care about that child. He's 7 years old. He doesn't have a frontal lobe. A little confused. Mama been drinking, the fluoride. Daddy been eating his glyphosate burgers. I lean towards you don't do anything. You let him grow up and you let him decide. I think that at 7 years old, you don't really know much about much. Trust me, I got friends that are 52 on Facebook. They don't know much about much, but at least they got frontal lobes for most of them. At 7, you don't. I think you leave it alone. I think you leave it alone. But also, I think with the whole genitalia thing, because y'all know, do we have any? Did the gender people, y'all here? the only 2 gender people, are y'all here? Real talk. There's a large portion of human beings born with all genitals. Okay. Both genitals. Sometimes partial, sometimes not. That's natural. God made them. They're perfect. That's how my mind works. I think that nature knows what it's doing, whether you call it Mother Nature, God, Shiva, Jesus, whatever you want to call it. It makes creatures and it makes them perfectly how they should be. Now, of course, their parents drink chemical fluids and eat poison because they live under an oligarchy. I think if it's not killing the child, you leave the child alone. That's what I think. And I think you let them grow up and let them make their own damn decisions. I don't think you let your indoctrination give them your problems. Because why would parents do that? I can tell you why I would have done it. Because I was stupid. Because I believed there were 2 genders and God was wrong and I was right. Because I don't want you to have those problems. The problem is you don't want them to have those problems, right? I want you to be normal. There's no such thing as normal. It literally does not exist. You create the problem by creating that fallacy, right? There's no such thing. You just leave people alone. I think that you let nature do what it's supposed to do and things go the right way. When you're trying to constantly control things, you cause problems. So anyway.
It's a big story. Everybody seems to be talking around at the dinner table. We're going to kick things off, though. Kick off our A block with a look at why everything changed in the case of Julian Assange, and much of it seems to have to do with the changing of the guard in Ecuador. Assange was granted asylum under the government of Rafael Correa, a progressive economist, who was then replaced by a member of his cabinet, a guy named Lenin Moreno. Now, Moreno, and here's where this story gets kind of weird, he promised to continue the policies of the man who had the seat before him, Correa. But then everything changed. And that, says our guest, is not a coincidence. Here now is the former foreign minister of Ecuador, Mr. Ricardo Patiño.
Is there truth in what President Moreno says about having to remove Assange, given that he violated the terms of his asylum agreement? Is that true or not?
Oh no.
Mira, yo creo que la verdad es otra totalmente distinta.
Look, I believe the truth is completely different. The truth is that Moreno reached an agreement with the government of the United States in order to deliver Assange in exchange for other support.
Weapons, that loan?
I believe specifically that he was blackmailed by certain circles of power in the United States after they discovered that he had a secret financial account in the Balboa Bank through his brother, which contained illicit funds. Certainly, they discovered it way before us. We only learned about it a few months ago. The US, having found this account, told him, "You come with us and destroy what Correa has done in Ecuador, and we'll cover up these accounts for you, the ones you have in Balboa Bank." I believe that this was the main reason, a blackmail that he received from the United States that led him to turn over to the United States and do whatever was asked of him. They asked him to destroy UNASUR. They asked him to turn over Assange. They also asked to deliver to the United States something extremely severe, and which is forbidden by our Constitution, a space for supposed refueling, which would be a type of new military base that is forbidden under our Constitution.
All right, I'm done. That's all I gotta see. I'll post a link. You can watch the rest of it. It's just America being the corrupt, dirty bastards they always do. That's what it is. You don't believe it, and and you gotta read. Just look up Confessions of an Economic Hitman. You can look at the audiobook. We destroyed nations. We've destroyed Latin America. Having a refueling station and a base is how we'll do it. How do we keep the governments corrupt there? We give them weapons and tanks and drones and technology. That's what we do. We're a corrupt, dirty, foul, filthy system that's based on colonization, destruction, and murder. Corruption. Right? Shouldn't exist. This is not something you vote for. You don't vote for that. All right? She told you on Avatar, this is not what you vote for. You don't vote for killers and murderers. You don't vote to change the color of the corrupt tank. It's still a tank. So, but once again, but this is the issue with human beings having no privacy and corporations and systems and governments having privacy, right? Like the politicians, and they're pawns in this too. And I kind of love how that played out because it kind of shows you, I think, like how the real world works. This is why I tell people that politics are for poor people who don't understand how the world works, right? It's just corruption. Right? You did something dirty. Everybody on here, everybody dirty, got some anaerobic something, bones gonna fall out your closet. And the NSA knows it all. Okay? That's why they watched everything, they recorded everything, every phone call you ever had going way back. Not just metadata, they recorded all your politicians from when they were babies with multiple genitals. Okay? Some got them cut off too. They had the parents did that nonsense to them too. They got everything on everybody. So you get in position. We did this in corporate America. We did it in corporate America. Like right now, your IT department is recording what you're watching. I know somebody, we're going to see the count go down in a minute. They're recording what you're watching. We used to keep all that metadata. We wouldn't do nothing about it. I'd sit there watching the database like, damn, we got all this data on all these people. They don't seem to understand how this works. They're violating public equipment. Private resources. They're using the laptop to check their. Back then we had Yahoo Mail. I don't think there was even a Gmail back then. There might have been. You're using it to check your mail and go to the porn sites and do this and that and whatever. I was like, man, y'all don't know how the world works. I was in that way in corporate America maintaining IT. I was kind of like the NSA in a way, and I was kind of like a Edward Snowden, except I don't have to run to Russia. We kept all the data. And when time came to get you out of the company, they used that data to get you out of the company. Why? Because you violated the use of corporate equipment. And when you signed the employee handbook or the employee thing, you said that you won't use corporate equipment for private needs. Just checking your email, watching this on Facebook. See it starting to go down. People are like, oh, damn, I didn't know that. I'm logging. That's how it works. So, that's just how the world works. That's how it goes. I don't think anything else is important there, though. Let me make sure. Anytime you get your politician in there, they'll go pull his records, and they'll see if there's anything that they can use to get them on. Hey, we need you to invade Venezuela. And if you don't do it, this is what we're going to do to you. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Something, blah, 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 blah. Human scum, Trump under siege. Well, I don't know. That could be fun. Do you have anything that's not?
Now here to Politics at Home, Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Majority Leader Mitch McConnell are looking to officially condemn the House impeachment process with a vote on the Senate floor.
I love hypocrisy.
But there is definitely still infighting amongst the GOP. This after President Donald Trump called Republican critics of his human scum. Meanwhile, Democrats paused hearings on the Hill while the late Representative Elijah Cummings lies in state. But there's pressure on House Democrats to hold hearings in the open. More testimony is expected in the coming weeks. Well, we need a 360 view of this, and we turn to our political panel. Attorney and former Georgia state lawmaker LaDon Jones and GOP analyst Eric Mitchell. Thank you so much for joining me, Eric and LaDon.
Thanks, Scotty.
I have to start with you, LaDon. You know, the GOP did change the rules in 2015 regarding the process of closed-door hearings. And this was all under John Boehner. So today, when Senator McConnell and you have Senator Graham introduce their bill condemning House Democrats, they're basically going to condemn them for following the rules the Republicans made. Do you see a problem with this?
It is a problem of distraction. They're breaking their own rules and they're undermining themselves. They're saying that this whole impeachment stuff and what did President Trump do? Just tell me one thing. That's the new Republican speaking point. Well, that's the point of the inquiries. Before they come up with articles of impeachment, they're going to make sure that every dotted and every T is crossed. If he did nothing wrong, what are they worried about going on in the meetings?
But to LaDon's point, Eric, we keep getting these little tractions that come out of information, whether we know if they're true or not, but you're hearing leaks from Ambassador Taylor, and you have people coming out saying, oh, this is so damning, this is a change of the game. So you're hearing these hints that it's so negative, and the point that you're hearing obviously is not positive to the president. So that doesn't help either. So is it not fair for Republicans to say, open the doors, as long as you're gonna have leaks coming out, we at least need to see the full situation?
Absolutely not. I think I understand the frustration of the Republican Party, but the problem is they're frustrated because they want to hear more of what's going on. They want these hearings to end so we can become public. Because as we all know, once it becomes public, it's a little hard to change the story. You brought up Taylor. It's true, but a lot of his stories, the things he's talking about, don't even deal with the July 25th date. There's just, I understand the frustration, but you're right. There are rules, and they need to be followed. I read the rules of the House that they came up with. They're frustrating, but Schiff is on point with what he's doing. These hearings are allowed. They were held with Nixon. They were held with Clinton. So I understand the frustration, but we just need to be patient. I think the frustration is let's just get this out into the open. Let's, like I've said before, let's just get it on. And that's where the frustration lies with this.
Well, I think both parties can say right now that I feel like we're living deja vu or karma, because now you saw yesterday Democrats are accusing Republicans of storming the meeting as a PR stunt, as the majority of them could already go in there. And LaDon, you know, under President Obama's administration, I happen to remember them on the Democrats on the House floor that would not leave for hours upon hours, and where pizzas were brought in and people couldn't go to the restroom. PR stunts is what our Congress has become. So at this point, since we are kind of in this, it seems like the war for the PR narrative, have we not kind of already lost the battle on both sides?
Well, no, because this is bigger than what happens in these individual hearings. Listen, Democrats have been concerned about the image that Trump portrays for the rest of the world about America and who we are, because he's in office. We voted for him, even if not exactly in a majority. And so we want to make sure that we make it clear to the rest of the world, we will not stand for you interfering with our elections. We will not stand for a president that invites that type of thing. And so to do so, they have to see it through to the end, even with or without the PR stunts. They're just recreating what they've seen in the past, because there's not a whole lot of guidance for these type of impeachments.
Well, and the president also came after those never-Trumpers that are in his administration. Eric, I have to say, scum's a pretty harsh word for anybody to say, especially the president of his own staff. Was this a smart move for him to start condemning those with his own administration that, guess what, he put in?
Absolutely. You know, I'll say this about the president. He's done an amazing job. Going after this, he's actually worried about that base, right? Because that's what's going to cause his reelection. When it comes to the Democrats, he's not too worried about those trying to come after him in impeachment and for that, because you already know they're going to go pick whatever socialist they want to vote for when it comes to that time. These folks, he's very frustrated. So the word scum, we already know the president loves his choice of words, but at the same time, he's frustrated because those same never-Trumpers have asked for a strong economy. He's delivered that. He's delivered time and time again for everything that they've asked for. He's come back and delivered that. So he's frustrated with that. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. We know this is how, we may not always agree with the way the president and what he tweets, but he's delivering on what we do, and a change isn't going to help.
And some of the words, though, the Democrats keep focusing on is quid pro quo. So, LaDon, I got to throw it to you. President Trump right now, currently, and just a little foreign policy, is getting a foreign country, Turkey, to stop bombing, stop shooting the Kurds. He's actually exchanging for money and for foreign aid. But Dems aren't screaming quid pro quo for that. I mean, isn't that sort of the same thing, holding back aid until a country does the right thing?
Yes, but it's different because he was doing it for political purposes to help his own re-election bid. Now he's doing it to stop a mess that he started in an attempt to protect his own election bid. So it is not the same thing. You can't get rewarded for a problem that you created on your own because now you're trying to find a solution for it. These are real lives, right? These aren't tweets. These aren't characters. These are humans that are losing their life because he wanted to investigate Joe Biden's son.
Well, and on that point, Eric, is this, you know, a lot of Republicans say, but this is a problem that he's actually cleaning up, that it did not start with him, the issue that we're dealing with in Syria right now, and somehow it's also been rolled into an election issue that has to do with Ukraine. How do Republicans respond to that?
You know, it's funny, we talk about Syria, and as a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, I take that one as a very passionate topic. I've had a lot of friends that have served over there. So when it comes to Syria, I think it's a completely different topic. When we're talking about the Ukraine, There is no quid pro quo there, and we've proven that time and time again. Anything Taylor's has, I know fake news loves to go run with that and say he said all this stuff and the world's falling, but it's not. Taylor was talking about information about that wasn't from the July 25th conversation. He's talking about just a regular internal administration, so there's not even proof of that. So running around saying that he did this, it's not the same thing. And we're talking about Syria. He's cleaning up what was a mess long before, and there's a lot of people involved there. It's not just the US. We have allies there, including the Russians, that we have to be very careful with. And there's a lot of moving pieces, and that's what we're dealing with. So calling for ceasefires and making sure people can get out of the way and doing this aid, I think it's the best purpose that we could be doing.
Well, first of all, Eric, thank you for your service on this, and I want to bring us back to how we started this whole thing. LaDon, do you ever see these hearings going to be open to the public? They're already saying in November you could see public hearings, but it's not going to be an impeachment. We're still a part of this inquiry.
It's interesting. Keep in mind, and I'm being quiet, sometimes I think I go a little far. Keep in mind, the people who talk jive believe the jive. Okay. People who talk the jive, they believe the jive. And I don't know, I think everybody wakes up in their own time. After a while, they realize it's a show. The idea that Democrats want to have open hearings while Trump calls GOP critics human scum is amazing to me. It's amazing. I think that when I say Democrats, let me be clear. Let me be clear. I'm not talking about the voters. Okay, I'm not talking about the voters. I'm talking about the criminals, the war criminals at the top that make lives, murdering human beings and destroying and burning nations. You're burning nations with drones. You are threatening sovereign humans around the planet. You're causing more rape of entire towns of women in Africa and Latin America than any other group since the beginning of history. You don't call for a trial for anything. Right? But a lot of people believe it, right? And that's kind of the challenge, right? A lot of people really like their reality is completely based in this. It's like the whole religion thing. These things have become religions. That's all they watch, and they drill into their head day after day. You know, this is where the whole orange man bad thing comes from, right? If you can drill into somebody's head something, it will be reality. It will be 100% reality, and they will kill for that reality. Right? It's like that saying, you know how it goes, you call a kid dumb every day during their childhood, eventually they're gonna believe they're dumb. If you convince people that what's wrong with the world is Donald Trump, you can't really, people who really buy into it and people who really program, that's the right word I'm looking for, program. If you program people so well, MK Ultra through mainstream media, those people revolt violently against you telling what's true. So I get it, I'm not gonna laugh at it. I just think that we're in a jam, we're in a pickle. We're in a pickle, you know, and I try to talk to people in ways to get them to realize that hopefully that they're not helping, right? They're judging someone else and they're being played by a system that doesn't have their best interest in mind. Met a lady the other day, she came and she said, leaving, say, well, whatever you do, you know, the orange man bad, blah, 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 blah. While the Democrats are with the Republicans murdering a planet full of children. And she realized I wasn't playing sides. And before she left, her and her husband just said, okay, well, just make sure you vote. Whatever you do, just make sure you vote. And I just sat there and said, you are so programmed that you don't even see it. You don't even see it. Right? Because you're programmed by a political party to vote for them no matter what, because you have so much privilege that you don't feel the devastation your party deploys upon the weakest people on this planet who are just born in the wrong location and they want to rob them. Gang mentality. But then also the whole message, just vote no matter what. No matter what. Doesn't really matter who you vote for. Just vote. And I think that's probably the hardest core of the brainwashing, right? Because at the end of the day, the system needs your consent to keep going. The tank needs you to agree that tanks should live and be parked in schoolyards all over this planet. The brainwashing is deep. The brainwashing is deep. And all you can do is just put the information out there, try to put it in a way where people can digest it, and hopefully it modifies their behavior a little bit. That's all you can do. You know, I found it highly interesting, the whole vote part. No matter what you do, even if you don't do anything, just vote. Because that's what the system needs. The Matrix needs your vote. The Matrix, in order to continue to murder the weakest people on this planet, it needs you to continue to do the same things that we've been brainwashed to do. All violence harms all. It does, Kim. I like the way Martin Luther King says it. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And if your group is based on injustice, don't come to me with just. Don't bother telling me what's just. Okay. If your group is based in destroying other countries and war, you can keep your jive just to yourself. You can keep that in your pocket. You can keep that in your pocket. I'm not interested. I'm not buying. And both of the political parties are based in that. They both prop up a system that needs to go extinct. Period. Right. You got little kids, the system needs to go extinct. If you're an uncle or an aunt, you believe more in the next generation than yourself, the system needs to go extinct. So that's why I can't get into the whole orange man bad, orange man good nonsense. The same thing with Assange, right? Stop with the identity. Stop going with the identity. If something good happens, then go with that. Something bad happens, go with that. But don't put the personalities in it. Never give up on humans. Humans can flip in a minute. Most people who listen to G know, but there's a newer one, or newer ones who's realizing for the first time. So some of his cast is basically review information. Oh, okay, yeah. I do go back and I'll say some things, right? Because there are a lot of new people who pop in, and I'm talking Jive too. It comes out as Jive until you realize who we are. It's kind of like why? Okay, here's a good example, Citizen Dev. It's like how I see Bernie ads all day. All day long, I see Tulsi and Bernie. How come I don't see Republican ads? What if I want to see a Republican ad? I might want to see a Republican ad. I don't see any Republican ads. Why don't I see any Republican ads? Well, because the software is racist. It's race-based. The advertising software, right? They said, we want to send this ad to people who look like this and that, and who would believe this, and who are indoctrinated to be this person, blah, 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 blah. And they'll send out these race, age, and gender-based advertisements. And so people tune in for the first time. They don't know what we're talking about. We don't do, just because you see my skin doesn't mean you know me, right? Because you see my age and you see a little gray, doesn't mean that you know me. I'm all about what's true. We need truthful information in the public domain so we can make good decisions. And when it comes to these political parties, neither is interested in putting out all the truth, right? Same thing with the whole Assange thing. Some of them will put out some truth. They'll put out just enough truth to keep people believing. So I do the little review. I try to do the review as little as possible. There's some old videos you can go back and watch. But if you have questions, I want to make sure people are comfortable. And these people here won't judge you. If they judge you, tag me. I get on. We don't do judgment here. We don't do judgment. We're all learning. We're all trying to figure out what the hell to do in a system that's playing each other against everything, against our own interest. And ask your questions. And if I can't get to it, there are other people here. They'll post links for you to uncover what's true. But we need the uncomfortable truth. We don't need the popular lies anymore, or the popular part truth. We need all the information in the public domain so we can sort out what is uncomfortably true, so we as adults can make good decisions and not have representatives make those decisions for us. Representatives that work for the corporations that are destroying everything. Why is Tulsi not seeking another term in Congress? I don't know, Fadia. I don't know. I really don't do politics. I know the names. There's a reason for everything. A reason for everything under the sun. I kind of like Tulsi to a degree, but even with her, she's got her partial thing, right? I think all war is unjust. And if you're unjust, I can't get down with you. And she agrees with the war in Syria. To me, that's a deal breaker, right? But it doesn't really matter, right? Congress is going to vote for more war, and so will the president's office, because I think what a lot of people don't think about is if they don't, the currency will collapse, right? The only thing that props our currency up right now is we agree to bomb and murder people. Right? We agree to the wars for corporations and for greed. If we stop doing that, the currency collapses, which means we go poor. This is why I and my friends and I, we always tell you to grow food. Plant perennials, save your seeds, learn how to take care of yourself. Go back to being strong, not being weak. Don't be dependent upon a system that requires weapons trafficking, war, rape, destruction, and murder. See what I'm saying? If we're strong and we can take care of ourselves, if we have the logistics to defy, an oligarchical system, then we can defy it. But right now we can't defy it. We have too many people. We need grocery stores, and we have to go back to the olden ways. This is why I say the elders always said it. Always keep your strength. Be independent. If we can keep that, then we can defy. But also educate yourself. And I think when you educate yourself and you realize how this system works, then you're not really worried about the Trumps, the Bernies, the Obamas, the Clintons. It doesn't really matter who's in office. It really doesn't matter. The office requires murder. And we're better than that. We need to be. We need to be. I know we are. We just lost our humanity for a while. Read some comments and get out of here. We have learned that voting doesn't matter. Yeah, we have learned that, Ivana. Some of it took me a while. I fought it, Ivana. I fought it. Oh, I fought it, girl. My vote mattered. You couldn't tell me nothing. And then after a while, it kind of really sunk in that I was brainwashed to believe that. I was just like the kid that you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb. The parents keep telling me, eventually they believed it. It was drilled into my head, vote, 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 vote. And I didn't think about the core concept of voting. Like, what is the purpose of voting? The purpose of voting is to have influence in your government, right? Voting doesn't matter. Do you have influence in your government? And if voting does not give you influence in your government, then you shouldn't do it. It's a scam. And that's why I don't do it, because no one died for me to vote, because I still think of history. Your ancestors died for you to vote. None of my ancestors was stupid enough to die for a label. None of my ancestors was stupid enough to die for that. They died so that I could have an influence in my governing, and I don't. Corporations do. We have an oligarchical system. We have a corporatocracy, right? So I'm not interested in voting. It doesn't matter to me. And this is the thing, when more people realize it doesn't matter, then they got to change the game, right? They got to change the game. They got to capitulate. As long as they got votes, then the politicians will do what they aren't supposed to do. Exactly. The fuel of the matrix is the voting. It is. It's the consent, Christine. As long as we keep doing it, it's not going to change. Because all they're really doing is they're saying, hey, we want to keep the tank. We want to keep blowing things up. Let's just use what we steal from everybody else for healthcare and universal basic income. The other side, let's use it for walls and, I don't know, Christian ministry. I don't know what else they want. I really don't pay attention. Nonconformity is essential. Absolutely, Rebecca. We have to stand on principles. We have to literally go back to standing on principles and stop standing on parties and identities and races and religions. Those are all the things that they put in the public domain to keep us weak in place. It's Friday. Wow, I feel dumber for simply listening to that. Jasmine, I can't tell you a secret. I'll tell you a secret. Everybody else turn off your ears. This is only for Jasmine. I literally could not watch it. I didn't watch it. I wasn't even in the room. I left. I couldn't watch it. I know people want to watch it, and I just left. Half the time I do that because I know if I play it, people enjoy it. They're like, we're talking politics, and I kind of play. Well, I don't play. No, I don't play. I know I can't do it. I can't do it. Because you know what? I get upset. I love poor people. I'm sorry. I love poor kids, and I don't think they should be poor. And I start cheering like the jive, the jib, jab, jibber, jibber, jabber, jabber, jabber. That's all I hear, and it's just like, So no, I wasn't even in the room. I left. I didn't watch any, because it does. It makes you dumber. It makes you angry and upset and aggressive. Okay, turn that off. Everybody else can listen. All right, yeah. So that was a good interview, and it was interesting. Good example. Good example of what we should not be doing. There are no political parties. There's only one. It's called the Killers. That's it. That's it. One political party called the Colonizers. That's the only political party there is. One political party is called the Globalists. That's all it is. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't lie to me, because I know most of y'all didn't listen anyway. Because I left. It was like 22 people on Facebook, and how many are on YouTube? And I came back, and it was a lot less. They didn't listen either. See, this is the funny part. Is it's like, okay, he's gonna play the video. We're gonna make some eggs real quick. And Kelly did it the other day. I'm gonna go make some coffee. I was reading the comments. He went to go make some coffee. We'll get out of it, y'all. But I think part of it too is it's finally accepting that it doesn't really matter. And when you realize it doesn't really matter, your blood pressure starts to regulate. And then you start to laugh like, I can't believe I used to believe this crap. And half the time, that's what I laugh at. I'm not laughing at y'all. I know you upset that I'm laughing at your politics, your politics. I'm laughing at me, because I used to believe all of it. I had my stats. I was like these guys with the NFL, and they're like, yeah, we got this politician, they did this, not that voted this way, did this, whatever. Then the bombs kept dropping. I had to believe the whole damn thing. All right, he's pulling troops out of Syria. How dare. What a monster. Yeah, and we talked about that, Susan, and the troops landing in Saudi Arabia. It's like, no, but you're never gonna get what you want. Like, yeah, Trump is anti-war. No, he's not. The system won't let him be. Doesn't really matter. Even if Obama would, doesn't matter. They're gonna take the troops out of there and go kill somebody else, because it's a better deal in Saudi Arabia for weapons or coltan or whatever it is, right? You know, the bottom line is the Pentagon is just, they outsource it on Wall Street. They outsource it to black markets all over the world. It's the most traitorous, treasonous thing, and we're the ones who are supposed to be a check and balance to the state when the state fails, and the state's supposed to be check and balance to the federal government when that fails, and it's all failed. It's all failed. And so the states ain't gonna do it for whatever reason. They're weak, they're scared, they don't have the money. I don't know. I think it's money, because the federal, they print the money and they bribe the states, and so the states to keep them from collapsing, because they're all cash strapped. It means that they have to turn on if they turn on the federal government, they wouldn't have any money. That means they don't have any money. They don't have roads. They don't have this. They don't have that. They got revolution. People can't eat. Bad things happen, and so they have to stick with it. So the last check and balance and fail safe are the American people. But they got them so jacked up and all of this nonsense that they can't seem to be able to stand for human life over their indoctrination. So yeah, so they'll pull the troops out and they'll send them somewhere else for corporations. They'll send them to go die and fight. There's something I might want to play real quick. I don't know. I should get out of here. There was somebody tagged me in something last night. It was a soldier. Like I tell people, if you want to support the troops, and I came from a military family, you have to listen to the veterans. If you're not listening to the veterans, you're not supporting the troops. If you're listening to the politicians, you're absolutely not supporting the troops.
Sisters and brothers, thanks everyone for being here.
Hold on. This one. Check this out.
Sisters and brothers, thanks everyone for being here. We're from the organization March Forward. We are here to say to all those serving in the Army and the Marines and the Air Force and the Navy that you have the absolute right to refuse to take part in these criminal wars, and that's a right that all of you should exercise. You have no reason to go put your life on the line and kill and die for profit. We've been to Iraq, we've been to Afghanistan, and we know what these wars are really about. And we joined the military for many reasons. Because we need a college education, because we need a job, because we need health care. And then we joined the military, and they tell us that our enemies are poor people in caves in Afghanistan, or poor people in the deserts of Iraq. But we've been to those countries, and we know that our enemies are not other poor people abroad. Our enemies are the people that laid us off from our jobs, that denied us health care, that make it impossible to get an education. Our enemies are not in the poorest countries on the planet, but right here in the richest one. The occupations of Iraq and Afghanistan alone are costing over $700 million every single day. This is a crime. Every single day, while so many of us are hurting, while I think all of us here and the vast majority of people in this country would agree that we can spend $700 million a day better than bombing people that we have no reason to bomb. We can spend $700 million a day rebuilding those countries we've destroyed. We can spend $700 million a day caring for the veterans we get home when they get home, and then we can spend $700 million a day giving every single person health care, a college education, a job, and a livelihood, and a home. That's what we need to be spending our money on. But this government is not going to do that. They're not going to use the money in that way. They're not going to end the wars. And they're not going to do it because it's not our government. It's their government. It's the government of the rich. It's the government of Wall Street, of the oil giants, of the defense contractors. It's their government, and the only language that they understand is shutting down business as usual. And that's what we're doing here today, and we're going to continue to do until these wars are over. It's crystal clear now that these wars are going to continue and expand and go into other countries. That is the trend. That is what we know, that there is perpetual war, and it's only going to stop if the people stand up and stop it. And that's what we're going to do, sisters and brothers. A lot of people ask me, what do we do? Because we all know things are bad. We all see the atrocities on TV. We read about it. We experience it. People always ask, what do I do? Because we always want to know what to do. Do we vote? Do we support a politician? Do we join an organization? What do we do? Well, I'll tell you what we do. It's simple. We fight. We fight, and we fight, and we fight, and we shut down our workplaces. We shut down our schools. We shut down the streets. We shut down business as usual. And we fight until we force the people in there to do what the people out here want. Because that's how we're going to get around, and we're going to fight until there's not one more bomb drop, not one more bullet fired, not one more soldier coming home in a wheelchair, not one more family slaughtered, not one more day of U.S. imperialism. So let's fight to make that happen. We can do it today, and in the days ahead, we have to fight to end these wars and create a better world, sisters and brothers.
I didn't even watch that. I didn't watch it. I knew what he was gonna say, but I didn't watch it. Oh my gosh. Do you understand now? You understand what we're about now? You gotta fight. That's what it comes down to. You have to shut it all down. You have to do the exact opposite of what they want you to do. They obviously want you to vote. They want you to buy. They want you to shop. George Bush told you right after 9/11, what do we do now that 3,000 people were murdered? He said, go out and buy things. Consumerism. That's what holds the systems up. That's what makes you a colluder. The reason slave plantations existed, because people bought cotton. The reason war exists is because you're buying this crap. You're buying it not just in the malls, but you're buying it on television. You're buying it in journalism. You're buying the paper. You're sharing their links. You're not questioning it. Question every damn thing. And my heart goes out to the kids. Like I said, I love the adults, but it all comes down to the kids. You actually want to actually do something that's decent in your lifetime. Soldiers or whoever, children, you want to leave something behind, you got to stop being a collector. You got to stop being a collector of crap, and you got to stop being a purveyor of jive. Jibberish. This is Friday. I got to get out. Powerful speech. I appreciate the brother. That's what, if you want to support the truth, you better not listen to your politicians. They give you emotional things to get you upset so they can abuse people all over this world. I love it. I love it. That was deep. I might have to do a watch party on that later just so people will watch it, because I don't think enough people saw it. Dulcie just wants to protect her community, family, and friends. I agree. The system forces you to join in. Exactly, Fadi. That's it. You know exactly what's going on. Lori is saying don't vote, and I agree with you. All votes are for war. Every last vote, Lori, is to murder people and to steal their resources. And the politicians know. It's not like the politicians lie about it. They don't even lie about it. They know it. But they have a job to do. And I think between the cracks, a lot of them say it. But as long as you support it, they're going to go along with the system, because the system is like a massive wave. It's just rolling forward. As long as it has the consent of the people, it will force the politicians to all do the same thing, which is murder, rob, steal, and kill. Deborah said, haha, G took a pee break. No, he did not. He's got to pee right now. That's why this is coming to an end. He did not. He did not. He actually, I was talking to somebody while y'all was doing politics. I was talking to somebody. Let me see. Blah, 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 blah. Question. If Muhammad and Adala had a machine gun, would Jesus let him use it? I have to say, Brother Jimmy, that I do not know. I gotta pee. Well, Jimmy asked the question. If Adala ibn Muhammad had a machine gun, would Jesus let him use it? No, Jesus would not let him use it. Why? Because Christ doesn't care if it's Muhammad ibn Adala, doesn't care if it's Donald Trump, doesn't care if it's Barack Obama, doesn't care if it's Gerard Kenyatta Hay or Jimmy T. Christ, being my teacher, what he taught me is that your life here is to sustain life. You're supposed to give your life for others. You're not supposed to take other people's lives so you can live better, right? And that's the whole hypocrisy of America right now in these political parties. It's about murdering other people so you can have a better lifestyle. And so no, absolutely not. So I don't know who he is. I don't know the circumstance, but it's better that you lose your life than to take somebody else's for something that you can get. And this is my core issue with this Christian group, which has nothing to do with Christ. A lot of people in it, they love Christ, don't get me wrong, but they're led astray by their leadership, like the Democrats and Republicans. Because they know some people will half listen. Yeah, people half listen, Kim, when identity is the issue. When people attach their self, the powerful core of what a human is, to a 98% monkey identity, then they just hear, oh, the black people going over here, what I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna go with the black people going, right? Where the Irish people going, they're going, I'm gonna go over here. And the Christians, what are we doing? We're doing this? Okay, I'm gonna go there. People half listen, they're told what to do and they just go along with it. They don't use any critical thought to determine, what is right and wrong. All right, let me see. I gotta go too, because Deborah will see me pee in my pants in a minute. Let me see. I don't make a point of telling people that I don't vote unless they personally ask me who I'm voting for. I tell them typically they aren't surprised, of course. Megan depends on me gun. Did I say it right? Did I say it right? Me gun. For me, it just depends on my mood, how much coffee I had, what I'm feeling like, what they look like. But in general, for the most part, I do tell people that the political system's corrupt. I kind of stay out of the voting part because that triggers indoctrination crap. I just kind of tell them that the banks have more power because most everybody agrees that money decides more than politics does. They just forget it at the election because like the thing that y'all just watched, because I didn't watch it, it makes them emotional. And that's how you break an intellectual with emotion. So I just say, you know what? The banks have more say than your politicians do, and the banks print the money. The corporations have more say. Big money runs politics. They forget about it at election cycle because they make everybody emotional. And people tend to agree with that. And then the conversation will go where it will. But I like to say things, Megan, if I had a lot of coffee, I like to say things that are kind of opposite what you think I'm gonna say. I didn't say it right? Oh, Megan. Isn't that what I said? I said Megan. I remember the gun part because of America. That's right. I remember the gun part because you said I guess you said I got the me part right. I said that yesterday. The gun part because of America. I got that right. I understand that part. Okay. Muhammad, so Muhammad Indijab Adala, aka he didn't say Muhammad, did he? No, he said Muhammad Indijab. Okay, see, you messed me up with the Indijab stuff. If you said Muhammad, I didn't know what you was talking about. Jesus and Muhammad are brothers. Can I answer the question? Jesus and Muhammad are brothers. They serve the same God, and they always have. Absolutely not. Christ does not believe in violence. I don't think, Islam is a religion of love and it's a religion of peace as well. But the thing that I keep in mind, Jimmy, is that all the scriptures have been changed. All of them. Whether it's the Quran or the Bible or whatever, they've been changing these scriptures since the beginning of time because man always wants to be God. It's just not the Christian man that wants to be God. It's not just the Christian kings, it's also the Muslim kings as well. All men are the same. Color means nothing. Religion means nothing. People have the same survival nuances they've all had since the beginning of time. All right. Any last words? People seem to expect the elections to produce magic. Yeah, they do, Anthony. They're told that that's what it'll do. Right? They're indoctrinated to believe that how you modify your world is this way. It's kind of like cattle, livestock, right? When you teach your cattle what to do, that muscle memory, whatever you want to call it, like where to walk, where to go, blah, 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 blah. We're literally being farmed. And as long as we're being farmed, then people will believe that what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to vote. No matter what, I'm just supposed to vote. And so that's why they do it. So I think getting in there, you have to kind of get in there without triggering anything. It's kind of like Mission Impossible. Anthony, you know, when you're walking past all the lasers and stuff, you have to somehow talk to people in a way and get in there and get to the room without hitting any of the indoctrination identity triggers. Because if you hit one of the lasers, oh, dang, kind of alerts, alarms go off, they flip out, they get upset, they get angry. Orange man, bad! Orange man is Jesus Christ. He's Christ come again. And it's just like, no, politics is just a game to make sure that we funnel all of the resources of all the enslaved human beings up to a few elite. And I think that should stop. All right. On that note, it's Flip It Friday, and Anthony would like everybody to know your vote counts. Oh, Anthony, we all gonna die. Hopefully not this weekend. I gotta go. Y'all have a great day. This is Gerard. Bye. You said your vote counts. Oh, Anthony kills me.